Hey YouTube, welcome back to another art video. I know it's been a while. If you haven't seen my moving vlog, that's got all the details on what's been going on lately. So today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you've never heard of it, Squarespace is a website building platform that helps you create templates and make your own website, and it's so easy to use. I've been using Squarespace for a couple years now, and it is by far the easiest and most beautiful template I've ever used. It's a really awesome platform that helps anyone, small businesses and entrepreneurs, to create your own website without needing any web design experience or anything. I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end of this video, so stay tuned. So today's video is the process of some hands that I painted a while back. I think this was actually before Inktober. I just really felt like drawing hands for some reason. So I pulled out my iPad and looked on Pinterest for some hand references and just kind of sketched out a few of the ones that I liked the most, also using my own hand for reference. I decided on one pose with the bottle in my hand, and I sketched out a little bit bigger on some scrap paper. Then I took out my light table and put a piece of watercolor paper over it and just lightly outlined the drawing. After that, I pulled out some of my favorite skin tone watercolors. Please excuse the cat hair. And I just started painting the hand. When painting something simple like this, it tends to be pretty quick. I'll usually mix enough of one base color to fill the entire object, and then I'll go in after it's dry and add in shadows with a slightly darker version of the same color. I wanted to really darken the bottom of the arm for some reason. Maybe to make it look a little bit creepy and Halloween-y, I guess? But I just pretty much worked the same way, adding shadows slowly, waiting for it to dry, blending it out. And then I started adding the pink areas of the hand and the darkest shadows. Then I went in with my Pentel brush pen and started outlining the whole thing. I'm actually using the Pentel Aquash pen in light black just to give it a softer look. And then I began painting on the tattoos and adding highlights with a white gel pen. I knew I wanted some kind of metallic gold in this piece, so I taped off a shape behind the hand, also to block the amount of ink that I spilled, and I started painting in with some gold ink. I actually wasn't too happy with this gold on this type of paper because I'm using arches and it's such a textured paper. It wasn't as smooth and reflective as I wanted it to be, so I saved that part for the next day. I started on a second hand on a piece of wood canvas. Before starting painting, I sketched on it with my red pencil and I sprayed it with fixative. and applied a layer of clear gesso on top of it. I pretty much followed the same steps with the first painting. And when I was done, I didn't really like the shininess of the gold paint that I used for this one either, so I actually decided to try out gold foil for the first time. One tip that I immediately learned was not to have any fans on in the room when you're using it. The foil is super lightweight and it will blow all over the place. So to use this, you pretty much just apply some light adhesive to the areas that you want it to stick. There are certain types of adhesive that are used just for this, so make sure you really read about it at your art store. And then you pull a sheet of foil off and you kind of press it down gently. And once you think it's all attached, you kind of brush it off lightly, and the areas that have adhesive will stay down on your painting. It was a little messy. I'm thinking it was because of the adhesive I put on. Maybe it wasn't smooth or it had become not tacky enough after a while. But the holes that were left, I pretty much just added more adhesive and did a second layer with the pieces of foil that I brushed off. Luckily, since I painted gold underneath the foil, it actually didn't look that bad shining through. But I did do a third piece where I didn't paint gold underneath and it actually came out pretty splotchy. But I don't mind it. I really like the reflectiveness of it and it's pretty cool looking, so I'm happy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it made you want to use gold foil because I am super excited about trying it in future projects. So thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Like I said, I've been using Squarespace for a couple of years and I absolutely love it. My website is so much easier to use now and easy for me to update. I used to make my website with Tumblr, finding free themes online and editing them for hours and hours trying to get it just right or as good as I could get it with my very limited HTML experience. After years of using Tumblr, I tried out WordPress and then I decided to use the trial for Squarespace and I was immediately hooked. I made my website within an hour. It had all of my content on it, which usually would take so long to upload, but their user interface is so much easier to use. Everything's convenient and you can actually create your own web store within your website, which is my next step. Right now I'm using Store Envy, and pretty soon I'm going to be transferring everything over to Squarespace for various reasons. But if you guys want me to talk a little bit more about store websites and how to set it up, please let me know so I can make a video about it. If you guys want to try it out, they actually have a free trial, and if you want to use my coupon code here, you can get 10% off your first purchase. You can check out the links below in the description. I highly recommend it. And thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!